All right, welcome back to the third and final part of how to rebind a Bible with frost leather. Now, this was just a general overview. I didn't get in depth. I just wanted to give an idea. And if you're beginning and starting, my videos will kind of show you my processes and how I'm doing things. So let's get into it. So first thing, or the next step in this process is we're going to add art gilding to this Bible. Now, when we add art gilding, we're just simply adding color under the gold or silver page edges, the existing gilding. I'm not redoing the gold or the silver, simply adding the color. So I place a piece of paper towel over the first flyleaf. When you fan it out, usually that part will push out more, so I just do that so that it's a cleaner finish. And then I'm using Ranger Archival ink. And then to apply it, I'm using makeup wedges. And so you just got to keep going, keep working it. Kind of got to prime the wedge because it likes to soak up a lot of the ink. I'm kind of stuck with these cheaper ones at the moment. I moved here back to Washington, and man, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and what I was using locally in California were just awesome, just really thick and dense. These are like little sponges. Man, I don't like them at all, so I'm wasting ink and taking longer to do so. So there we go. I fanned the pages, and then you apply the ink, and then you make sure to take the paper towel and rub the gold gilded edges or silver. Make sure to wipe off the excess. And here's how I do the top and the bottom. I just use my book holder, and I just fan it out. Because again, you're not dyeing the top. You're trying to get to the white, to the page edges. So you fan it out, and then I just put a single layer, just go through it, and then I'll go over it a second time. Then I'll touch it up later if it needs it. And so I fanned one side, now you got to fan the other. And that's how you get both sides. Not too difficult. But I know, man, I was clueless when I started doing rebinds and adding art gilding and just these little steps, turns a cleaner product. But man, there was nobody showing this stuff. Nobody at all. And there's just tons of videos now. But this ain't complicated. Maybe just a little practice to get an even coat, but it ain't too hard. So again, always rub the page edges. Close them. There we go. We got our shine. See, I noticed I'm probably going to have to go back to that little part, but let's move on for the video. So do the bottom the same. And now we're going to, now that we have art gilding, we want to reinforce the spine. So we'll take our brush and PVA glue and put a layer over the spine, and then we'll put our ribbons and headbands on. And I do have a specific system here too. Again, when I took apart premium Bibles, they always had the ribbons under the book cloth, not over. So you want to put your ribbons down first after you got a good layer of glue, PVA glue. And then these ribbons, they wanted 3, and the width of the spine was only 1.1 or so. So they're kind of crowding over each other, and so I apply glue on each one just so that it's there and can set. Yep, there you go. Install your ribbons. And then next we're going to install our book cloth. And I have all these pre-cut for the video, so I wouldn't have a hour-long video. Got this all pre-cut and ready. So here's our book cloth. Press it on. Apply some more glue. And then now we could do our head and tail band. There we go. Got a glue. There's our headband. Got that set. Put our tail band on. And then we're going to put some glue on the top for our our craft paper backing. That's what I call it. I don't know what the technical term is. And I have seen, some use this like real thick material on the spine. So I guess it's just a personal preference, if you reinforce the spine so much to where, it'll last a little longer. But you can't open it. You can't lay it flat. You can't have it on your desk open. So I guess it's going to be your preference, if this, how I'm doing it, it's going to last a very long time. That book cloth, that mesh with that craft paper, and all that glue, I mean, you're going to have to fold your Bible in half every single day to start breaking that. I mean, PVA glue is really strong and flexible. But if you handle it, you take care of your book, nothing's indestructible. But if you take care of it, it'll last a long time, and I like the happy medium of reinforcement, but I could still open my Bible. So here now we're moving on to install the cover. And so I just try to find where center is, just to confirm that we're good to go. And I did have a question in the comments. I should have got your name, but he was asking about when I cut the original cover off of the Bible and I leave that 1/2 inch, do I leave it? And yes, I do. Reason being, if you get a premium Bible, it's going to be wrapped with reinforcement, and they do about a 1/2 inch up. If you cut it right on the crease, I hope this is making sense. You're going to have to add reinforcement again, and so might as well just keep the original. So right here on this side, because on the back I sewed in lined note paper, but on the top I have the original reinforcement and then my own reinforcement. And so now we are ready for install. And you're going to see how I install the cover. Put the Bible on the edge, put my weight on it, and then I'm going to just apply some glue, just enough. You're dealing with now the fly leaves, which are papered. If you over glue it, it could just make a mess and kind of miss the point. So you want to kind of have the balance of enough glue to hold it, but you're not wanting to just dump glue on this part right here. Just enough. And then here I'm folding over the original reinforcement, and then we have my reinforcement that's going to go over it. And that book cloth does wrap over about a 1/4 inch. It's all you need, with the craft paper over it. But really, it's the craft paper is just to finish it off. I'm not hanging my hat that the craft paper is going to hold the book together. It's the book cloth and PVA glue that's giving it its strength and flexibility at the same time. So here we go. We're going to put the tab on. There we're gluing the tab and fold it over. Get the sides, the top and the bottom down, and then you run your hand down the spine and get the rest of it pushed on straight. Here we go. Do the other side. Put your reinforcement down. And then glue your tab. And roll it over onto the Bible. And I've seen quite a few just wild methods for doing this part. I mean, seen people with these big old tweezers, or this is it. Just put a weight on the Bible, push it over. But it seems to be hardest, man. That part seems to be the most difficult to find for a lot of binderies. I've had a lot of questions. How do you install it? And they got book presses, and that was the way I found to where I can get it on clean and consistently. Not perfect. I mean, anything handmade, it's not going to be perfect, but you could get pretty dang close. So there we did here's our end sheets, and I butchered this part with my head-mounted camera. But you could get the gist. Again, this is just an overview. I'm not getting extensive on anything on these videos. Just giving an overview on how to do this, how to rebind a Bible. So, take my ruler and I'm going to press it down, creates a straight line. Then next, we're going to cut the end sheet. So I install it. If you notice, I install the whole piece of cardstock. I don't pre-cut them. And I again, if I didn't edit that part out, all you would have saw was that black bench. So I'm showing you right here how I cut along the Bible all the way around. And there we go. It's installed. So do the same thing on the other side. I make a little crease on the bottom there, and that's the length, so I know how much glue, how far down to put glue. And again, this is paper, so we're not trying to just dump glue on this, but just enough to hold it down so it doesn't fail. And if you glue an end sheet paper on paper, meaning you don't have end sheets that you're gluing onto, you just need a good amount of glue. But when you got vinyl end sheets and you're trying to glue paper to, things get complicated and they easily fall apart. And that's for a different video. So now we're done with our end sheets. We could tuck our ribbons in. And then we'll seal our ribbons. And I always cut all three at the same time after. I'm not sure if anybody pre-cuts them, but I hold all three together and cut it to your desired length at an angle. And then we seal it with a lighter. Just a quick pass over. If you don't want to melt your satin ribbons. So just a quick pass over. And now we put it in our press and we let it all dry on the spine. And you have just completed a rebind. So thanks for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.